So the seaweed I approached a little bit differently in that I didn't really cache anything to disk. I just copied what I had, like the seaweed pieces that I had, and I just time offset a couple of variations of it. So let's do that. So let's go in here, R&DR seaweed. Let's go in there, let's make a grid. Let's make it, I guess, 20 by 20 or something. And scatter some points on it. A couple of points. Okay. And now let's object merge our seaweed in here. So the seaweed we made into this object. So that's the one. Okay, we don't want to use the sweep. So we want to merge in this one. All right, so just these ones. Okay, then we're going to copy the point to the scatter. So let's see how many points. Yeah, it's looking fine. Okay, so we get something like this. So these all look, well, exactly the same. So you could either make some custom versions yourself. What I just did is I just time offset a couple. So, but it depends on how much variation you want, I guess. So I call this seaweed 1, seaweed 2, let's do another one, seaweed 3. All right. So let's disconnect this. Okay, so there's something new in Houdini 18. It's called a variant. So piece attribute variant. So if you enable that, it's going to look for a variant, and it's going to use something with the variant to determine what is it going to copy to it. Okay, so let's say that we want to do attribute create. On the first one, we're going to say that the variant. So that's variant. So it's going to be what this is called. Let's just copy it so we're sure that it's the same thing. Variant, okay. So it's going to be an integer. This variant is going to be 1. And then the second one is going to be 2. And the third one is going to be 3. All right, let's merge these together. Of course, now they're still exactly the same. So let's time shift some stuff. So let's put this one, let's say $F minus 40 or something. And the other one, let's say $F plus 66. All right, so now they're a little bit different. Save. Let's attribute randomize. Attribute variant. Again, variant. Dimensions 1. Between 1 and 3. Let's do a. Let's see, can we if we cannot set this as an integer, then I'm just going to do it in a wrangle. Okay, I'm just going to do it in a wrangle then in that case. Wasn't sure if you could also make this a random integer. Okay, let's do attribute wrangle. Type float r equals random, rand at ptnum. So we're going to call a random function based on the point number. Then we're going to say that r equals, we're going to say fit 0, 1, r between 0 and how many do we want? Oh, by the way, so between 1 and 3. We want r, and then we want I at variant equals r. All right, so let's have a look. Variant 1 and 2. Okay, probably we want this to be Okay, between 0 and 1. Okay, we probably want this one to be 0, 1, and 2 instead of what we had before. Okay. Let's see for Ryan, where are you? Okay. Now let's save and have a look if this will work if we plug it in. Let's test this, by the way, by just randomly adding a pig in between. So maybe a second input. Yeah, this works. So you can see now it's randomly picking between these three, which are time offset a little bit. So now they're a little bit different there. Now let's do an attribute randomize. Let's randomize the p-scale between 0.7. Let's make it 1. Something like that. Okay, so then what we can do is we can go into our CWD we have. Let's grab the movement. Let's just add some more random movement. So maybe a little bit less. So that's just the movement FOB that we have had on the thing. So now it's gonna add an extra noise that's animating through this entire thing. So then they're even more random. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So of course we kind of want them to be in between the rocks. So let's object merge our rock. So big rock to this object. So we don't want to scatter on this object because they're going to be in between the objects. So let's have a look. Let's move this down. Let's see how big do we want this thing to be. So something like this. Okay. Then what you could say is we want to array these. Do we want to do that? No, we don't want to do that, I think. Let's just have a look at just what it looks like if we just move them down here. Just to see how they look. Let's do a little bit less. Let's give them a color. So then at least we can see what we're doing. Because and now everything is white, so okay, so maybe okay, so let's pack an instance and then unpack after that. Right? Okay, so let's have a look. So some are going to be a little bit in between the rocks. So what I basically just did is let me just color it before here. I just manually positioned a couple of these to sort of be in a different spot. So let's have a look. We could, so now they're sort of packed. So what we can do is we can say just, okay, I want this one here. So you kind of need the amount that you want, but then after that, so this is not going to be fully modular, but fully procedural, but you can just move a couple like way that we want. And we could also, oh, by the way, maybe we don't want to do that here. Probably want to do it at the points here, because then we can move points in there as well. So let's go over here. Just move these points over there. So before we do the copy, just move the points. Right, something like that. I mean, if you want to add extra copies yourself, you could merge. Let's do the edit, by the way, before we do this all other stuff, right? Let's just merge. Then we could say add, and just generate a point, merge it in. We can use that point's position to determine where do we want our thing to be. Let's go down here. Let's put output. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, so yeah, that's how I added the seaweed.